What's up, everybody? Coming at you today with a tier list on atheists. Forgive me if my mic isn't the greatest. This is actually the first time that I'm doing a tier list like this. So, anyway, I am a Christian and I was atheist most of my life. So, I thought it'd be interesting, or maybe you guys might think it's interesting to kind of get a perspective of a Christian and their rankings on some of these atheists. These are the 10 that I chose just off the top of my head. I know that there's some others. I mean, obviously there's a bunch, but these are just the first 10 that came to my mind. And I'm going to be ranking them not on anything specific, not on their stance, not on their arguments. I might give somebody a higher ranking just because I like the way they talk, or they have a cool accent, or I don't know, who knows. So, and right now I have them down here, E and F, not because I think that they're E and F tier, but this is just where they are until I kind of shuffle them around. So anyway, let's just get this party on the road. First off, I'm going to go ahead and rank Mr. Alex O'Connor, S tier, top atheist. This is where it's at. I'm just gonna go off the top of my head as far as why I'm ranking him, like I said. But Alex O'Connor, man, dude, if you're an atheist, you go listen to him because he knows how to communicate. He doesn't strawman the opposition. He actually understands the theist's perspective and arguments. So, as far as I understand, he has a graduate degree in philosophy and theism, but his content is just top tier. Not only is he, engaging with the actual arguments, but he brings on people that oppose his views and engages with them in a way that I don't know, man. He could straight up just say the Bible is false, and the way that he presents himself, it doesn't make me angry. He has a lot of good points, and when I say angry, it's not like really any of these people make me angry, but it's just maybe a better way of saying is it makes me kind of frustrated when they strawman the position. Since he doesn't strawman the position, it's okay. He could say, "Look, this is the position. I don't agree with it." Great, man. Thank you for being honest like that. Alex O'Connor. I mean, obviously, I disagree with what he thinks because I'm a Christian. For example, like he doesn't believe in free will. That's something I believe in. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep going here. So let's go ahead and go with the four horsemen of atheism. So we got Mr. Richard Dawkins. Where should this man go? On one hand, this guy is like kind of, I'm just putting him in B tier for a moment here to think. This dude is kind of like when you think atheist, you think him. So I feel like I gotta kind of have him higher on the list just because of that. There are a lot of problems though, man, with him. I mean, it's crazy how long he's been in the game of atheism and he still doesn't get the basic arguments of theism. Like this dude is young and he already understands it, and this guy's been in it for so long. And in addition to, he said things like, "I will never believe no matter what the evidence is." So he's already admitting that it doesn't matter what evidence that is presented to him, he will never believe it. So it's not really a matter of evidence, but he presents himself like that. Having said that, man, dude, I'm just gonna, he's got a cool accent, I guess, whatever. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go C tier. I'm gonna go C tier with him. All right. Anyway, let's go. Christopher Hitchens. Christopher Hitchens is he's an author and he's got some really influential books. I like the way that he goes for the jugular when it comes to attacking theology and Christians. As an atheist in the past, I kind of, resonated with that because I was angry at religion and God and that sort of thing. So, his arguments, though, still, I mean, they're just not, he doesn't focus on what the actual arguments are. Like, I've literally listened to debates with him, and he doesn't counter the arguments, you know? His brother, interestingly enough, is a theist, and I don't even like his brother's arguments for theism. I mean, I feel like his brother's arguments are weak too. Having said that, I'm just gonna go ahead and put him in C tier. Okay. I mean, these guys get the benefit of the doubt because they're so famous and prevalent in the atheist community. So, as far as their arguments, like I said, I like the way that they both kind of go for the juggler. So, I'll give them that. All right, so we got Sam Harris. I'm just moving him up here just for a moment just to discuss him. Sam Harris is interesting. I like a lot of things about Sam Harris, to be honest. You know, um, I feel like he conducts himself in a civil manner for the most part. I respect people like him that really think about their position long enough. Like he's come to the conclusion, like Alex O'Connor, that there is no such thing as free will. I can only assume that these two believe that too. I'm not sure, but um, another thing. I know I'm kind of going all over the place. I'm just talking out loud here, but his moral landscape, although I disagree because it's on shaky grounds. If you know what that is he argues for objective morality. So most atheists say that morality is just subjective. So you can say, I think it's objectively wrong to beat somebody because of the color of their skin. Um, moral relativists will say, well, it's just because of society or whatever. There is nothing that's objectively wrong. He's trying to create a framework in which there is objective morality, but it hinges on the idea that we accept the fact that human flourishing is actually good. So he starts with a moral stance and then builds his framework off of that. He's fallen off though, man. He's gotten kind of like he used to be more respectful in my opinion. And lately, I'm trying to think of some of the things, but and it's not just me that's saying that, but anyway, I'm just going to put them in the same group. Four horsemen, three horsemen here. I know there's another guy, Daniel Dennett, which is a philosopher. I didn't put him on here because he just didn't come to my mind, and I wanted to stick to 10. In addition to, I'm not really familiar with his works. I have seen some of his stuff, and from what I've heard of him, he might actually be better. I think he's probably better than these three. But I can't rank him just because I just don't know enough of his stuff. And I remember him trying to argue for free will, which was interesting from a materialistic perspective. But anyway, let's go for Matt Dillahunty. Matt Dillahunty, what is this guy? I don't even know. I know he's an atheist. Like, is that all he is? I mean, that's fine. And sorry if the mic is kind of scratchy. I did a little test earlier and I heard it scratchy. But anyway, Matt Dillahunty, this dude, man, this guy strawmans the arguments like no other. These guys are a little bit better at not doing that. And I'm trying to think of some redeeming qualities for Matt Dillahunty. I will say, I do like that he likes to engage in open discussion. So that's one good thing. Like, I think he had like a call-in line where you can call in and talk about things. And I know that he's engaged in open debates, and he likes kind of like more of an open discussion, which I like, which gives him definite points. But I don't really feel he's really looking to have a conversation in good faith. Like, I've seen him just kind of get backed into a corner logically, and he just self-destructs. He doesn't know what to do with himself. And there's more things, like I say. I'm just going off the top of my head. Matt Dillahunty, man. I don't know, dude. This dude. he. I mean, if you're an atheist, I'm just gonna put him in E tier. I respect that I have heard him have like civil conversations with people. He just hasn't contributed anything. He just regurgitates the same tired memes that aren't grounded in anything. Like these guys are at least contributing something. Like I want to say they're authors. He's a biologist. He's a neuroscientist. You know what I'm saying? This dude comes up with interesting philosophical stances. This guy just is nothing, really. Sorry to be mean. I mean, I'm just telling you how I think. This is subjective, man. That's all it is. Okay, Matt Dillahunty isn't my cup of tea. Let's put it that way. Aron Raw. Oh, dude. Did you actually like listen to this dude? I'm gonna have to put F tier because Matt Dillahunty, at least, like they're very similar in a way, but Alan Raw just did I say Alan? Aron Raw. He just doesn't really want to have a conversation in good faith. I can see Matt Dillahunty at least like I can tell that he wants that, and I see elements of it. Like he's trying, he's doing his best based off what he has available. This dude is just, you know, in the arguments that he uses, man, just to like he spends so much time on the burden of proof. Both of these guys do, you know, and I'm not going to even get into the burden of proof here, but don't listen to these guys in regards to how to conduct yourself in that way. Let me just put it that way. Stephen Woodford, this dude's he's got a YouTube channel, Rationality Rules. I've listened to a few of his videos, and he just strawmans the arguments. I've seen some other of his stuff that don't deal with atheism, and he seems like he's a confused man, confused individual. Dude, this dude is kind of like between these two guys like this. Like Matt Dillahunty, I think is at least better, I think, than this guy. I'm gonna put him in E tier. You know, I haven't heard any helpful contribution from this guy. You know, like at least with when I listen to these guys, they're philosophical thinkers. They think in different ways. They present different arguments, and they're original. These three guys are just bottom tier atheism. So if you're an atheist, I would not recommend to listen to these guys. You know, maybe if you want to learn how not to conduct yourself, you're not really, maybe you can like convince somebody who hasn't really thought their thoughts out at all based off kind of the things that these guys say. But no, this dude, I think his name's Hemant, something like that. He's got a YouTube channel, and he just came to my mind because I think his YouTube channel is like really popular. He's got a lot of these like really short clips of him just saying things against religion. I don't know too much about him. Maybe he's a smart guy or something. But based off his YouTube content that deals with religion and philosophy, he's just not he's just not a good person to listen to. This guy, who's worse? I think this dude's worse. So it goes like this: Matt Dillahunty first, we got Stephen Woodford, and then we got Hemant back here, okay, and then Aron Ra's just down here, F tier. I'm only giving this guy a few points because his content is like short and concise. You know, he delivers zingers even though they may not be accurate, but at least he can like piece together things like that. He presents himself better than this dude. You know, at least these guys present themselves well. I'll give them that. You know, even if the basis and the underlying foundation is weak, at least, you know, they have good camera presence. You know, you can see they're smiling. This dude is just upset. So, all right, we have Graham Oppy. And I don't even really know a lot about this dude, but from what I've seen, the little that I've seen, he's S tier. S tier, dude. This guy, at least from what I've seen, I might make another tier list in the future later on, adding people or rearranging them based off more information that I get. But from what I've seen, Graham Oppy is like Alex O'Connor in the sense of he doesn't strawman the argument as far as I've seen. He's very thoughtful. He thinks through everything. He's a professor of philosophy. I don't know at what university, but you can tell that this guy he knows what's up in a lot of ways. Obviously, again, I disagree with him because he's an atheist. I'm a theist, but even on like remember I talked about the burden of proof. Like this guy, he's just real about it. He's not just trying to dance around and dodge questions. When you can engage in those questions, then you're on a stronger foundation. So the last dude, Drew McCoy, he's got a popular YouTube channel, Genetically Modified Skeptic. This dude is interesting. This guy is interesting when it comes to ranking, because he's got elements that are similar to he's got like qualities that I don't like, but he's got qualities I really do like. So for example, I've seen some of his videos and they're thoughtful as far as a new perspective on his stance. And he attempts to explain things from his worldview and how things can operate according to how he sees the world. And they're unique and they're refreshing sometimes. At the same time, he I've seen other content too to where it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain. It's like, look over here. And then it's like a bait and switch kind of thing. And he thinks that he's got a coherent argument. And I don't think, I think, basically I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, I think that he's just kind of presenting himself in what he thinks makes sense. Maybe later on when he'll look at certain things that he said, he'll realize that it's not coherent and it's not a really good argument for what he's trying to get after. But he presents himself in a friendly way. He's got a lot of other things that are centered around not so much atheism, but you can tell he's extremely confused about some basic things in our world. So I don't know, man. I might just put him right here. Let me see. Because maybe B tier. Because like I say, there are things that are good about him. But I just can't because of the other stuff. I feel like I got to move him down. I'm going to put him in C tier. But this isn't necessarily a ranking right here. I feel like these guys are all just kind of on the same line. I feel like I'm almost disrespecting these guys by putting this dude right here also next to him. But like I say, he does certain things that I feel like are better than these guys, so he gets moved up. But he does things that are worse, so he gets moved down, so he just kind of winds up in the middle. Anyway, that's the ranking. These three right here are the four horsemen of atheism. Like I said, I left off Daniel Dennett because I'm not really familiar with him. There's a woman, Ayan Hirsi Ali. She was like the fifth horseman of atheism, but interestingly enough, she converted to Christianity recently. And I don't know much about that, but I'm interested in learning more. So I want to kind of investigate that a little bit to see what turned her, what evidences did she find convincing. That's it for the video, guys. Let me know your rankings. God bless you all. Peace.